We all did computer, basic knowledge in computer in those days. So I get a document, a hard copy document. Then I start scanning. This is 780 something, 89 thereabout copies, less of A4 document. So we'll start scanning, enter in Tinubu Presidential Tribunal legal team, okay? We'll put all of that on the 700 something document, not 100, not 200, 700 document, and then we now printed it and start circulating to our team. All right. By some big machines and what have you, you can get that done in less than 24 hours. Awesome. But that's not the crux of the matter here. The crux of the matter is that while you had yours on Friday, let's say that's the truth. While you APC had yours and even had enough time to watermark it and began to spread it, Labour Party and PDP didn't have theirs. They literally had to come to the media to raise alarm to say that you also have delivered this thing because you have just 14 days to look through these 700 something documents. So we can now sit down and prep for the appeal at the Supreme Court. And you're saying that the court refused to hand this over to them until they raise the alarm. And after they raise the alarm, they now say, so PDP and others are now saying, oh, here's what has happened. Because they had a hand in this document, they were trying to clean it up to give us another document that didn't have the TPTL on it. I leave that on your desk.
Well, it's a complicated and complex situation, to be honest with you. And like I said, if a lot depends on perception here. If Nigerians, if the tribunal had given Nigerians a little more reason to have faith in it.
They haven't yet.
I think all of these issues wouldn't be arising. But I think this explanation is not something that it's not implausible, frankly. Yes, I think a lot will depend on when both parties applied for the documents. But again, from Barrister Ogala's statement, it would seem that they got the judgment at the same time from the registry. And so
Okay. And then let's look at it from that angle. If they got the documents from the registry, these people were in the news, PDP particularly, say we've been calling, asking them to release this document. They haven't released it. Now, how did we now have in written, typed, in bold form, the President Tinubu Presidential Legal Team?
The only way that matter can be resolved is if the counsels to the petitioners will be frank enough and then go ahead to also show proof, because Batagala has said that their own copies of those documents, the ones given to them at the registry, do not contain that watermark. So it will up to them now to have the honor to say yes, because the explanation, yes, we collected ours and there was no watermark on it.
This is ours and this is the one we worked on.
Yes,
that could have sufficed.
That settles the matter, because it's also possible that, of course, we are talking about the president of the country. If he can hire the services of some of those senior advocates of Nigeria, then he can have equipment that can run those documents. And frankly, in a way, you can even, if you have all the documents, you simply put President Tinubu legal team, and then you issue a command. Automatically, it goes round.
So it scans and have those.
Yes. These equipment are sophisticated these days, and they can do a lot of things. But I think I think as a matter of honor now, this is about fairness. This is about fair play. If it is the case that the legal team of the PDP and the APC got their own documents, I don't want to enter into the issue of when now, but that they got their own document and that watermark wasn't on their own, then it's up to them to provide that.
They already come out to say that. They demanded, it was in the news, I think the 2 days after or so, we've been demanding for them to give us this document.
No, there are two issues here. I'm not talking about, yes, I'll address that issue when the time comes, the issue of the timing. I'm talking about the documents now that they got from the registry of the court. Did it come with that watermark? If there's no watermark
No. I think they now have their own documents. That is after they raised the alarm that they don't have theirs. That they've written the first time, they've written again, that the court is yet to release the document to them. However, from what Ogala is saying, they had theirs as at that Friday, and then had time to watermark it, for instance, while these guys are yet to get theirs. So when they finally, before they got theirs, this other one that has the copy is already in circulation, before they now got the one that didn't have the watermark.
Yeah, but again, Ogala also said that they were in the registry together to get this. So that's why I'm saying that...
So maybe the PDP legal team should speak up.
They have to come out, both the PDP and the Labour Party legal team should come out and then clarify these matters. Believe me, I think as much as possible...
But let's look at it from this angle. Why would the PDP come to the media to shout that they don't have their documents yet, the tribunal judgments yet, and they have just 14 days, and this is 2 days after that, leaving them with 12 days to go through 700-something pages to get to, prepare their appeal case? Why would they come to say that they don't have their documents if their lawyers had it?
Well, that's
because Ogala is saying that they all had it.
And that they got it the same.
Yeah. So if that is the case, why would the PDP now come out to say they had this document when they didn't have it?
Well,
it should be given to the lawyers, isn't it? So if the
lawyers of both parties,
yes,
actually.
Yes. So if the lawyers who should have the document didn't have it, and they've communicated to their principal, hey, these people are here to give us this, and the principal have come to the media to say, see the games these people are playing, they know we need time to do this. So I'm trying to make sense of it now. I mean, there should be evidence. The registrar should say, no, this is not true. I gave the document to all parties the same.
Oh, sure. I'm sure they are going to sign out on the document. So let us see where they signed out on and the date on the sign out, so we know when they got it. But I think even more than all this, the point is, it's not the first time the petitioners have had to make these kinds of complaints. And frankly, institutions of state should realize that they don't work at the behest of individuals. They are institutions, and they represent the state. It was the same situation with INEC too, when it came to, the point of allowing them access to electoral materials used during the elections.
Which has also affected their case
It came up during the judgment. In fact, INEC at some point denied that they paid for those documents, even when the lawyers insisted and that they had receipts, but that they were not even compelled by law to file those receipts that prove that they paid for those documents.
But they were willing to bring it to the fore.
Institutions of the state should rise beyond the level of open partisanship.
But who appoints the leaders, those taking the lead in these institutions? Who pay them?
I think it's a matter of honor here. If somebody appoints you to a position and you know your functions, you should discharge those functions regardless of whose ox is called. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen to be the case. In fact, what happens is that quite often people who are known partisans are appointed to institutions that should be occupied by people who are non-partisan at all. But I think it's also a challenge we need to begin to look at more closely as we go along.
Yeah, a lot of pundits have also raised alarm about that there's need for something to be done. But let's just wrap up this. I just want to wrap up this with this question that's been nagging at my head. Given the intricacies and how sensitive these matters are right now, and how much, like they say, all eyes are on the judiciary, do you think Justice Tsunami-led 5-man team should actually speak up to say, clarify the situation so that it puts everyone in the clear that there was no interference, like having the APC do clerical duties for the tribunal, like is being alleged, right? At least for the honor of the judiciary, do you think they should come up to speak up?
As much as possible, one would want the judiciary to be shielded from too much public exposure. But this has happened, and so to reassure the public, I think it's important that, a press statement will suffice. It doesn't have to be a press conference, just a statement to the media will lay the matter to rest.
The fact. Yes. On the same day we gave to Labour Party and PDP, theirs were ready, they were not there to pick, or something that puts it in the
It even shows that you have some respect for the public, other than to completely ignore the public. That will even fan the embers of greater suspicion and, give way to all kinds of conspiracy theories as we are seeing now.
True.